Hello everyone and welcome to the NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar room. My name is Tiffany Sampson and I work for NinjaTrader in our Denver office. We have a very special event for you today with Helder of Trading OrderFlow. I'd like to mention that it is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity future contracts and forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and can even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the link provided for more information or for a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor recommendation, but simply education in nature. This presentation is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to NinjaTrader Brokerage directly at the information provided. With new tools added nearly every day, NinjaTrader Ecosystem is home to hundreds of apps and services. You can quickly and easily find the tools or services you're looking for with a simple keyword search. You'll also find information about upcoming webinars and an on-demand video archive to view event recordings. Also, if you are active on social media, please ensure to like or follow us for the best ways to get updates on all things NinjaTrader Ecosystem. NinjaTrader is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. To ensure that you are on the latest version of NinjaTrader and pick up a free live data trial, please visit the following link. You can purchase or lease NinjaTrader at the following link. And if you are just getting started with NinjaTrader, we offer free live training on a daily basis. You can view a schedule of weekly webinars at the following link. We are very excited for this unique event in which Helder will demonstrate a toolset approach to trading with OrderFlow. Thanks again for your attendance today, and without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, Helder. Take it away, Helder.
Hello and good evening to all. I hope everybody's listening to me okay. So I'm just going to put here the disclaimer, risk disclosure, CFTC rules and trademark materials. And I also like to add that all opinions expressed are the presenter's own and nothing in this webinar should be construed as a trade recommendation. So welcome everyone to the webinar, Toolset Approach to Trading with OrderFlow with Trading OrderFlow. So welcome and hello, my name is Helder and I'll be your presenter today. But before we move on, I also want to thank everyone at NinjaTrader that made possible our participation, and also a thank you to all participants here that took time from their busy schedule to be with us live. We are very happy to be here today. We appreciate the opportunity to present this webinar and hope that you'll see benefit in incorporating it in your trading. So a little bit about Trading OrderFlow. Trading OrderFlow is a brand from QuantSpark Technology. We just recently made this change so that the branding can make more sense to what we present to the public and to our developments as well. We've been members of NinjaTrader's ecosystem since May 2018. We're based off Lisbon, Portugal, and we mostly provide OrderFlow-based add-ons, but also some custom development services for NinjaTrader, although services are on hold at the moment until 2020. So, okay, let's dig into what we're going to approach during this next 30 minutes. Firstly, we're going to briefly discuss a few of the benefits of trading with OrderFlow. We then move into integrating that information into charts. NinjaTrader is a very well-known platform for its charting ability, so today we're going to bring some OrderFlow information to those charts. We'll shortly discuss the dichotomy between DOM trading and chart trading, and we're going to show how the SuperDOM Series, which is, as you already know, a set of columns for the SuperDOM, can be used as an analytical tool that you can integrate with your own chart trading. We'll then take a look into building your OrderFlow toolset, and we'll define spoofing and then the limit order visualizer in a quick example of this action. We move into OrderFlow Speed and explain how it can help you by assessing the overall market speed and velocity. We will then take a look at the VWAP and why it's important in generating price levels, relevant price levels. And finally, we take a look at some of the features embedded in NinjaTrader, such as chart alerts, market analyzer as a complement to your toolset. At the end, we're offering $100 or euros and discount via a coupon code, and we end the presentation with a Q&A. So what are the benefits of trading with OrderFlow? So some benefits. OrderFlow information is pure information, and it's based on real interactions and behaviors of market participants. OrderFlow information is based on real and concrete interaction. If you're only using information derived from price, then you are left at a disadvantage, in our opinion, by only taking into account the movement of price and not incorporating information about the participants' decisions or their interactions. So also remember that most indicators will also depend and are derived almost exclusively on price and not the interaction between buyers and sellers. So in a lot of trading circles and websites floats the idea that price is king and that price itself will provide the basis for all your trading strategy. In our case, we want to bring an additional layer of analysis because for us price may be king, but it depends on the activity of participants and their interactions. And so prices are driven by those interactions and ultimately driven by order flow. But in practice, what this means is that many participants in the market are using mostly charts, either because there's a lot of literature regarding chart trading solely, either because some traders also don't have level 2 or tick data available. So in some discussions, it becomes a bit of a dispute between DOM trading, where order flow is king, versus chart trading, where price and price patterns and candle patterns are king. So this is usually a dichotomy between DOM trading and chart trading. So chart traders base most of their decisions on support and resistance, price patterns, and so on, while DOM traders will look at volume profile and volume nodes to assess these supports and resistance levels. And while we see that we cannot plot and display order flow information, while we see that we can display order flow information on the charts that you cannot really see on the DOM. You can see on the DOM, but because the DOM only shows the now, there are some things that are difficult to spot solely by using the DOM, and they would be terribly hard for you to remember. So in this webinar, we want to bridge these two approaches. We also made some advancements during the past few months in a way that we can bring the SuperDOM series closer to the charts by providing new columns and customizations that allow for the SuperDOM to be used in conjunction with a chart trader. And thus traders can take a look at the DOM or the SuperDOM window for analytical support while they trade the charts. So let's take a look on how the SuperDOM series can be used as an analytical tool at this moment. So the SuperDOM series already brings a lot of analytics to the SuperDOM window, and with a bit of customizing it allows you to use the price ladder as a source of information for your trading. And we can start to bridge the gap between DOM trading and chart trading. So currently the SuperDOM series allows you to have a window that displays several important pieces of information regarding order flow. We can start with the simplest window that we can have. So the simplest window can be customized just to be a time and sales window with reconstructed tape, filters, and alerts. Can also be your own personal profile dashboard displaying various volume profiles of different time frames. It can display linear and diagonal deltas, for example. And this window can easily be shown side by side with your current chart configuration. Can also be used as a side window and a complement to your charts by allowing you to view both the trades and the volume profile, and also, of course, the trades column also allowed to have filters, alerts, and auto clear, and more options. It can also be used as a price monitor window, as a price action monitor window with the use of the price action column. We can quickly be aware of open, high, low, close prices, meaning context in a way, from various different time frames in a candle-like display. So we can have the past month, the current month, the past week, the current week, and we have that in a very complementary window besides your chart. Moreover, it can also be used as a market depth monitor that you can use in your charts. You can also apply different filters, different widths for the order book, see the order book imbalance information, and other various statistics. But nevertheless, during this year, we only have a year almost of existence, but during this last year, we clearly saw people wanting it to be a full-blown DOM and not just an analytical set of columns for the Superdome. So we want to say that we heard you. We took this in as a priority, and we're currently developing the next version. We'll soon be releasing a beta testing version, and this new version will bring trading interface and order management to the SuperDOM Series columns. Okay, so moving on to the OrderFlow toolset. So let's think with the following framework. So traders, they work, and like any other profession, you need your toolset, and the toolset is composed of different tools that allow you to get some jobs done in an appropriate way. So you want to be able to have tools that contribute to your overall better decision making. One can say that one cannot discard some tools, that some tools are essentially, for us especially, OrderFlow tools. So although the SuperDOM series tries to bridge the DOM trading and the chart trading like we saw, it's only part of our tool set. We can also think about the OrderFlow tools that can be added to our tool set. For example, the Limit Order Visualiser also bridges DOM and chart trading, bringing market depth information to your charts. The OrderFlow Speed, which brings and registers the speed of the market in a visual way to your charts. And the VWAP back, which brings volume generated price levels to the charts. And this is a classic indicator. We could not miss this. Let's see now an example of what is spoofing while integrating the Limit Order Visualiser and the depth column. So I frequently get asked if the SuperDOM series, the depth column, allows to view updates of the limit orders, meaning the adds and pulls of the order book. And if ultimately they can spot spoofing activity. And yes, it's quite possible. But what is spoofing? Spoofing is an illegal activity and is described as adding artificial orders to the order book and not having any intention whatsoever of getting filled on one of the sides. So this will create a false and artificial representation of liquidity in the market. By doing this, the participant is trying to manipulate the perceived market and affecting the strength of one side of the order book to be filled at a better price. It's been quite difficult to prove the legality because the underlying fact about the intention is about the intention of the participant. So is the participant willing and knowingly wanting to create a misrepresentation of the market to take advantage of it? Or if in fact the participant reanalyzed his decision and took the orders without any spoofing intention. You can search more on this online. Let's see a simplified graphical representation. So we see a normal order book with a bid and ask limit orders, right? That's where all starts. And then we see a big increase of liquidity on one of the sides of the order book. And in this example, I'm showing spoofing with layering. Layering just just like the name implies, is when you put a lot of orders at different price levels. So the real order in this example is just one, but could be several, and also could be in the form of iceberg orders. So this can be a little bit more sophisticated, but for this example, we'll keep it very, very simple. So that increased and artificial pressure creates the perception that there's a lot of sell-side liquidity, which then forces prices to go down, as no one, by looking at that order book, wants to be or is willing to be a buyer. So you could also see this imbalance by using the order book imbalance feature on that column. Ultimately, when prices are driven down and the order is filled, you will see the sell-side liquidity being removed. So all the sell-side liquidity will be removed by that participant. Let's see how limit order visualizer can help us. So the limit order visualizer also helps to bridge what is presented in the DOM with the benefits of using a chart that can host all other NinjaTrader indicators, while also presenting historical market depth data. So the limit order visualizer brings level 2 data where once was only level 1. And by presenting this information on the chart, it helps you to see which levels are picking up interest by displaying liquidity on your charts. It can also help you to spot confluence areas, for example, highs and lows of previous days with current or previous VWAP levels. So you can see if it's coming in with interest at those levels that you marked on your chart, or not, or it's not coming with interest. People are not interested. So, and it also helps with memory. With memory, because it displays a historical limit order volume. So you can squeeze in the chart and see what was the volume of that limit order at a current time. So let's see how could this tool help us with a spoofing example. So we can see here an example where our eyes are immediately drawn to that big limit order. On the left, we see depth columns displaying the order book as well as the update, so the pulls and adds, and in a single, which is the middle one, and also the rightmost, which is the cumulative updates. We are using OrderFlow Speed in Delta mode in the lower pane and the VWAP on the chart, but we'll go there in just a minute. So we visualize this big limit order. There is no stacking in this example, it's just one big order. So as we see time go by, we clearly see that the order pushed the market down to an interesting price level. The current session's upper first standard deviation of the VWAP, and also the previous session upper first standard deviation of the VWAP. So there's somewhat some confluence there. So once the bid reaches this level, the order is partially removed, and then all relevant liquidity is removed when ask price also arrives at this level. So during the time the spread is in this price level, we see a little bit of selling by looking at the order flow speed below. More on this in a minute. But prices didn't really go much lower. The buy orders being filled are somewhat hidden, like we discussed. In this example, we don't clearly see one order wanting to be filled at the lower price in an open manner, but in a more sophisticated buying. Okay, so price does move a couple of ticks below this area for a short time, and they are met with buying activity. So, and late sellers are exhausted at this point, as we can see on the order flow. We then see how prices start to move upwards. So let's go and see what the order flow speed is. So the order flow speed helps you identify market participation. It's almost like sound in a trading pit. Is there noise in the pit? Do we hear more selling, shouting, or more buy shouting during a particular time or level? So in delta mode, the order flow speed helps identify the conviction of the interaction between buyers and sellers. And here in delta mode, it could also be called velocity because it can clearly have a direction. So as such, it helps identify momentum by gauging a true market participation because it's listening to the buy and sell activity. And it can also help you spot exhaustion in this interaction, and it's a friendly companion to the trades column of the SuperDOM series. So let's see an example. In this quick example, OrderFlow speed is configured to delta mode, showing the delta between buy trades and sell trades. So let's take a closer look at these two examples. In the first example, we see a clear divergence pattern between price action and the activity of sellers. We see gradually less sellers as we move lower. And we also see something very interesting. On the last retracement, on that last push down before market goes up, the market is filled with buyers and buy action. So in the second example, we see a test of a previous high, and the second poke of the market is met exclusively with sell side action. So the market poked and it found sellers. We also see something else. Again, when prices are moving down, sellers are getting exhausted. There is less selling. Buyers don't come in strong, but they accumulate the late sellers. So prices move gradually up with very little sell side activity and speed. And here we can see how order flow speed helps determine exhaustion of one side and confirm some classic price patterns like a double top we just saw. In the first part, we see price making new lows, but the selling diminishing, which is then counteracted by an influx of buy-side trades. On the second part, we see that while making new highs, there is a clear indication that sellers are dominating and price retraces. So falling down move, we see that sellers themselves are getting less involved in the market as they were, and so buy-side activity picks up. Now, we didn't use any levels in this example, so those might have been irrelevant price levels. We could have put, for example, some volume profiles or some ViewUp levels to check for that. Okay, so let's see what the ViewUp and how it could be relevant in generating price levels. So the ViewUp is an acronym for volume weighted average price, which is a trading execution benchmark used by traders that gives the average weighted price by volume. So normally also displays its standard deviations. And it's very well known. You can find a lot of information about it on the internet. So I like to look at as a global indicator. There aren't really any settings to configure. There aren't really any settings. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Let me just repeat. Okay. So the VWAP is an acronym for volume weighted average price, which is an execution, a trading execution benchmark used by traders that gives the average price weighted by volume. It's normally displayed with also its standard deviations. I like to look at as a global indicator, like I was saying. So there aren't really any settings to configuring it and making it a very consistent indicator among traders. Although we do have some plans to implement some extra features. Okay. It's normally based at the start of the current session or day, but you can have other time frames. It's quite easy to spot market interactions with the VWAP and the standard deviations. And it's used in both trend following strategies and mean reversing strategies, and it's often used as a reference for profit taking and position management. And as such, they are used as either support or resistance levels. So fundamentally, we are talking about the VWAP because it's a globally perceived indicator by almost all market participants, and it derives from volume, so the order flow activity, and as such we want to add this tool also in our tool set. Let's see an example. So let's take this naked chart. It's just a naked chart, and we might already start to see some turning points just by using our eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and mark some of the turning points. Okay, so we see some turning points, missing some, but these seem enough, right? These seem that they had some sort of reaction. So now let's see this chart when we overlay the VWAP back, and there we go. So now it's clear that we can see some interactions with previous VWAP levels. The first circle, for example, is showing a bounce of the third upper standard deviation of the VWAP from the previous session. We also see some more interactions using either the previous VWAP levels or the current session levels. So the second one was with the current session level, third one as well. But the fourth circle, see that? There we go. But the fourth circle there, it's a reaction from that previous level. So the upper first standard deviation of the VWAP of the previous session. And we can see that as well. It came here to test the VWAP of the previous day, and here as well we didn't mark that one again. So previous levels are also as important as current levels. Okay, so from what we just saw, each of these tools allows in its own way to proper analyze order flow information or information generated by order flow. And each are good at their objective. In the case of the VWAP, at generating price levels. In the case of the order flow speed, at assessing the speed, the exhaustion of market participation. It's important not only to look at order flow patterns on the DOM exclusively. And things you might have seen happen several times in the past, but also take levels that everyone is looking and use the charts and find proper context. So we want you to maximize your edge by incorporating all these tools while still being able to use your own indicators and your own chart types. There's really no limit in a way. So by using this tool set available for you that analyzes order flow information, we want to improve your decision making. And you can choose to use it with a SuperDOM as an extra window with your chart trading. And you can use these add-ons on your chart that bring order flow information to them. So one final example. So on the left of the image, we're using various volume profiles. So we're using the SuperDOM window as a personal volume profile dashboard. And we also have a price action column to keep us aware of the levels from several and higher time frames. So while we dig closer into the action. On a chart, we are using the limit order visualizer, the VWAP back, and the order flow speed. So our eyes are immediately drawn, right, to that cluster of limit orders as shown by the limit order visualizer. And we can see that we are trading in a constant buy speed during this up move. So we adjusted the real-time limit order visualizer to show us only above the 68th percentile, so that we only see limit orders above the first standard deviation as we are approaching the upper second standard deviation of the VWAP. Some minutes later, we clearly see a jump, breaking that level of the VWAP, and breaking also the limit order. As we broke the second standard deviation of the VWAP, we saw that was met by increased buy-side activity seen on the order flow. Let me get that. So we see these up move here. The buy speed decreases on a second push, and it's met with some or very little sell-side activity, perhaps some profit taking or some weak hands trying to lower the price down. there. Right. So as price ranges for a bit in the upper second standard deviation of the VWAP, we see that a small double bottom and a confirmed decrease in sell activity. We can see that here, looking at the order flow. As we do the double bottom right there, there's no sell activity. Buyers pick up and steam again and continue on with the march. All of this while keeping an eye for the volume profile and price ranges where we can see a possible support level on the 30-minute volume profile, which is the rightmost column, and the month's high on the price action column, also the rightmost strip of the price action column. So, okay, we want to finish this with a couple of extras. So this webinar is not only about DOM trading or chart trading and our tool set, it's also about bringing some more tools to your tool set, so that now we're going to see how to set up chart alerts and also to take a look at all the market analyzer in conjunction with a price to VWAP indicator to give some context on several markets. So let's see how to set alerts and how to configure them. Once we define points of interest, we can set up some alerts so that when they start to monitor more closely, then we can start to monitor more closely the order flow action. So let's say we want to use some VWAP levels in our trading, and we right-click on the chart and that has the VWAP indicator. We are then presented with the alerts window, and we can configure the name and reharm settings. We're going to skip that, and below we can add the condition right there. And for the sake of this example, we want to get alerted, our condition, we want to get alerted when the close prices cross above the upper third standard deviation. So we choose closing price, and we select our VWAP, which is on the chart, should be an object on your chart, and then the level we want. So we go to indicator plot and we choose which level do we want. After we set our condition, we want to have an action. So what happens when this condition is true? So we want to set some actions for that condition. We have many options, and we chose a pop-up window and also play a sound. But you can submit an order with an ATM attached, and that I think is very powerful and very useful for you as well. So normally with the VWAP indicators, there's no possibility to have price VWAP relation. So a normalized value that allows you to instantly know where price is in relation to the current VWAP. So the VWAP pack also helps you, and it's an extra piece, an extra tool for your tool set by also bringing a normalized indicator that monitors this relationship between price and the current VWAP. So the output of the price to VWAP indicator shows the normalized values between price value and its relation to the VWAP. So a value of 1 is a upper first standard deviation. -1 is a lower first standard deviation. And not only this feature allows you for a clear view of the markets, but also it can be used on strategies, alerts, or combined with any other indicators. We can very easily see indices trading above the VWAP, for example, in this example, and bonds trading below the VWAP. So that's a very recurring image that we see. So this is a normalized view, and price to VWAP is not outputting price levels. So no price levels are there. What it's giving you is the exact distance of price to the current VWAP in a normalized way. And we can also see some order flow speed there, and with some configuration you can also see the speed. In this example we can see a 60-second delta of the order flow speed that resets every minute. But any number of configuration is possible. And again, these values can also be used in strategies, alerts, and other indicators. So, okay, I believe this concludes our 30-minute presentation. Let's reveal the coupon. So, okay. So what we're giving out today until Monday, until the end of the month, is $100 or euro on direct discount until the end of the month, on top of the 40 and 45% already on sale. So the superior bundle compromises all that we saw, plus 2 more indicators that are coming. I'm not saying which ones, but 2 more are coming to add for the superior bundle. So it brings the price, I think, to a very interesting price point for 4 add-ons, and it's less than $100 per each of these add-ons that you see. The super bundle, it's almost the same, but it doesn't have the VWAP pack, and it brings down to a price where it's almost like one single SuperDOM series. Also, I want to remind everyone that we don't have any monthly fees. It's a one-time only, free updates, lifetime license, so that you can enrich your trading analytics and your order flow tool set. And that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Time for Q&A. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I want to take this question, which is saying that where is the footprint and the heat map? So we don't have a footprint at the moment. We did not show a footprint at the moment. Regarding the heat map, I think you're referring to limit order visualizer. That is also a tool on the NinjaTrader OrderFlow Plus package, but we do not offer any footprint at the moment. And the heat map should be the limit order visualizer. Blank code, okay. The code, sorry, maybe I moved too fast. The code, sorry for that. The code is a trading order flow, so you just need to put trading order flow. Final prices, they go below 400. So I'm just going to move. They go to 300 euro, 307 euro to 339, and the super bundle goes to 290 and 256, 57 euro. Okay. Learn more if you use the pointer. I'm sorry, I did not use the pointer. You're able to show any market. Yes, the I think we have that in our quick facts. We don't really need any special data connection or anything. It's just level. Or you would need in some of our indicators level 2, in the VWAP no, in the order flow speed no, but the limit order visualizer, it depends on level 2 market depth data. And all our indicators depend on tick data. Okay, so we need to have tick data, and that's the most precise data that we have available, so we use that data. Okay, Raj, I'm looking, what about real-time market depth data subscription? You do need, yes, because we need to get, the add-on needs to get the feed. It needs to have data to provide that information, right? Yeah, it can be kinetic, yes. It needs it. Otherwise, if there's no data pumping, then we cannot show anything, because we're expected to have that data and to show that data, right? It's just a visualization of that data in a way. Trading videos, yeah, I don't have, but I'm making an effort on that. Making an effort on that. I don't know if I'm that good at making videos, but I'll surely make in the future once this big development stage goes on, that I'll focus more on providing information and videos, of course, more than images. Ugo, when there will be a new update? Yeah, we're adding a lot of stuff to the Superdome at the moment, and we're adding a lot of stuff to other add-ons as well. In some cases, in some experiments, it's not coming out as we expected, but we have a very close deadline. I don't want to say anything publicly, but I think next week I'll be able to provide some of the topics that, so like a teaser, like you guys will already know what's coming up, and see that we also brought something, not only that is the trading interface, for example, or the order management, which inherently you have to do it if you're going to have a trading interface, and also other things that we're adding, and also some user suggestions we keep in our log that people want to see, and we just want to consolidate everything. It's a big update. It's a very complex update. So we could have, for example, invested in a new column, invested our time in a new column, and decide to do a new column that we also want to do. We want to do more columns, but at this stage we're kind of consolidating. We're in alpha testing stuff inside in-house, and shortly, I just don't want to commit. I could say very soon, but yeah, very soon it will come out. Okay. Are you adding a candlestick as a background on the Superdome? Well, it's more of a conceptual candlestick, right? Let me get that. Thank you for that question. So let me get that price action image. So in this image, I hope it's clear for you guys. We say candlestick light because we're using transparency. I think we use transparency in all our add-ons. They have always a layer of transparency that we want to bring. I think it's also very nice and very visually appealing to users. So we're not putting a candle, but like, okay, when transparency is low, and you can configure this any way you like. You can switch it around. You can play with it. We give you no limits or like a set to this is the correct thing to do, and we give you a lot of options, so you can configure that any way you want. And the idea here is that where it's more transparent on top, I think you can see that should be the wick, right? So there's a wick, and we immediately know that there's a top, and it's a top for many time frames. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. If we do have any partners, no, but we're open to have the trading partners that was referred previously, and we'll do that more. We're very kind of now, we're a very young company. We only have a year, but we're very much in this development stage. So we want to do this development, and I think this second year of trading order flow by QuantSpark technology, it's going to be a consolidation year, and we can then have more fun at doing more creative things during this second year. That's my forecast. Yeah, no subscriptions, and free update, and I think that's our model, and that will be our model. Can this be used in Goldfish? Yeah, sure. We don't really care. I don't want to be too harsh, but we do not really care the instrument. We care about data coming in. And we'll have also an add-on, a pretty nice add-on, I think, for the nerdy guys out there that want to mess with data and get level 2 data into a database. We'll have something in the near future for you, and you can do all these machine learning and all those. I don't want to keep naming, but you can do a lot of analysis when you have a database, and we're going to bring that to the nerdies very time soon. And we want to have some fun on this as well. So that's the thing. But yeah, okay, sorry. We don't really care. We just care about data. So you have tick data, check. You want to use limit order visualizer or the depth column on the Superdome series, check. You need level 2 data. If you have level 2 data, those things can work. Can we beta test? Yeah, we offer free trials. Everything is very transparent. We don't, you know, we don't want you to buy and then we offer. It's always a 7-day trial. I think that's pretty common with vendors. So we give a 7-day trial, and it's free. It's free to download. We just ask for your email so that we can communicate after with you guys. And normally, also, I don't know if other people do this, but every time we launch a new version, every time we kind of make an update on everything, we send an email to everybody saying, hey, we updated, you can download it in your download area, and we reset all of the trials. So for example, Jim is asking, so if you can beta test. Okay, now I think I understand. But the idea is that, okay, we released a new version, maybe somebody was not happy with the previous version, maybe it didn't suit, maybe we created something that now suits that person. So we don't have any limits. You can request as many trials, and we reset normally when we bring out a new version. And Jim, sorry, I did not understand. This candlestick feature is already there. So we brought, it can be, we have a column, it's an experimental column that controls the window of the Superdome. So you can have, that's one of, so we're winking at price, at chart traders, right? And this can be used as a complement right now without the trading interface and without the order management as a window that can provide analytical information. That's what we were discussing. So, thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, it's you can request. You can just go to the website. Thank you, Tiffany, for putting the website on. And basically, you can just have a trial. You don't have to purchase immediately. We're very open to that. And if you don't like, and if we develop something in the future, you will get an email if you open it, and if it says an update, then you know that you can go back, request again, and trial again for another 7 days. We have no issues with that, and I think it keeps us tiptoe as well. Is this for scalping intraday? Yes, you can scalp intraday. We didn't approach that, but we saw a couple of examples, right, where you could have taken a couple of ticks and a couple of trades, some based on VWAP, and for that I would say, for example, would have been nice to have some more here, maybe a volume profile to check if that level, not only based on the VWAP, so you want to have some sort of confluence going on there, and you want to see the actions, because some turning points, they are not met with that. They're met, the VWAP is not making a contribution to the table, right? But in some cases it is, and in some cases you can be aware by looking at the VWAP. You can have a volume profile, and then you can use the chart trader, for example. And you can use, for example, okay, hey, I know where's the first standard upper first standard deviation of the VWAP, and look at the action in another window and see if we're making if we're touching any high-low close using the price action, for example, or how's the action on depth, and how's the action on the volume profile to make a more informed decision about what you're going to do next. Let me see. But not only scalping, that's the thing. For example, price action or volume profiles. We have a volume profile. Let me get that again. Made a big effort. Okay, here. So this volume profile with statistics is 60 minutes, but we can define any minute. So we can define 240 minutes, for example, until a maximum of a day, which 1,440 minutes. Here we have the current month volume profile, the previous month. And this is the most simple volume profile or dashboard that you can have, because you can add delta, linear, diagonal, you can have filters. And on the filter, I think this is very important also to say, this is a bit outside the presentation, but if you use a filter, right, and let's say you want to filter 10, right? So you want only to see people who traded with and hit the market with 10 lots. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's a simple filter. But what happens when you also have the piece of information, which is, hey, a lot of people, they aggregate, right? They split in our first presentation last year. We discussed a little bit about this. So we're going to split an order, right? And statistically speaking, you will see more frequency. You will see more frequency in 1 lots and 2 lots, for example, in the ES. It's very rare that you see a 20 lot hitting the market, probably at open, but even so, a lot of these people, they trade, trade by splitting their orders, their massive orders. So when you filter, you don't want the filter to be, hey, this is a clean cut, I just want 10. No, you want to have a reconstructed filter, which can reconstruct the trades, right, that were split, and then present those values to you. So a volume profile that you filter and above 10, for example, and you say this is a hard set limit of 10, and versus oh, hey, I want 10, but I want that reconstructed. You'll see many more trades, and that makes much more sense because you have these two pieces of information, and normally you cannot incorporate them, right? But with a SuperDOM series, that's why. In the future, we'll talk about the trading interface and the order management. But at this point, we can look at the SuperDOM series, for example, and clearly create your own dashboard, right? To trade with the charts. And going back to your question, I'm sorry, what I meant to say is that you can also trade with higher time frames, right? And keep, for example, your chart clean by having, for example, a window that is only displaying volume profiles next to each other. Or price action, for example, displaying month and day and week in one very simple column. So you know, you don't need to add more stuff. You can keep a clean chart, for example, right? That's what we want to bring on this webinar. Okay. Anxious. We're also anxious to bring it out, but soon, very soon, very soon. Okay. Okay. Is apply? Yeah, I want to get everybody. Okay, everybody got an answer, I think, right? Okay. Thank you very much. I think this is a wrap. I'm always available. You can contact me. I try to respond to everybody in a timely manner. Sometimes I cannot, but normally I respond to everybody. So thank you very much. I hope this helped. If you just want to leave your email and say, hey, I don't want to trial anything or something like that, you can just leave the email. You can just leave the email on contact, or you can just send an email to any of the emails, and we'll just add you to the list, and then we'll say, hey, there's an update on this, and this is what we did. But you're right, we should do more videos soon. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have fun.
Perfect. I'd like to give a special thank you to Helder for a great presentation. Everyone in attendance here today will receive an on-demand recording of today's event. Please keep an eye out for that email. NinjaTrader Ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor events as a value-added service for our clients. If you find value in these events, we hope you will attend them on a regular basis. We would like to remind you the information provided this was that of Trading OrderFlow and not of NinjaTraders. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we appreciate the time you spend with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you at future webinars. Happy trading from all of us at NinjaTrader Ecosystem. And thank you again, Helder.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Have a good day as well. Thank you.